friends, welcome to Kavita's classroom. Today's topic in hand is allocative efficiency. What does it mean? Let's understand. So, when we say allocative efficiency, before that, let's talk about the basic thing. We're talking about economics. Economic means when we unite the land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur for production work to produce goods and services, this gives rise to the economy. Right, all these production, purchase, sale, this becomes a part of economic transactions and all. So for the production, we need land, we need labor, people, right? Capital. And capital means we would need to have the technical inputs, the machines and the technology, etc. The skilled manpower, which unites all the labors and all such things together so that that production can happen. So when we are creating the provision of the resources for all these things, it means we are allocating the resources for the production of goods and services. So this allocation means that distribution of resources should be efficient. And efficiency means it should have the maximum social surplus. There should be least wastage and there should be highest possible social surplus involved in that allocation of resources. So let's understand it more deeply. What does it mean? It's an economic state where resources are used to produce goods and services that society desires. This is very important point, the most, and it ensures maximum social surplus. So let's understand when can we have this allocative efficiency attained. There are certain conditions to it. And the first and foremost thing is maximum social surplus. What does that mean? So let me make this repeated diagram we have been making several times so far. So this is my x-axis 0, y-axis talks about demand and supply, and this is equilibrium, this is the quantity and the price, right? So nothing new in this. We do know that, we do know that the gap between the demand line, the demand curve, and the price is called the consumer surplus. And the gap between the price line and the supply is called the producer's surplus. And this together, consumer surplus plus producer surplus, will give you the total surplus or the social surplus, the whole surplus in the economy by that production work. Right. So this should be maximum. So this allocation is showing the maximum possible surplus because there is no dead weight loss, there is no wastage happening, which at times happens because of the government intervention also when the quantity produced is lesser, right? So if the quantity is produced till this point for whatsoever X, Y, and Z reasons, so this would not be there with consumers. This would not be there with the producers. So this will be untapped potential of the economy, and hence it would be called deadweight loss. But it should not happen. So when we say this should not happen, then only the maximum social surplus happens, right? So this diagram doesn't talk about the maximum social surplus. The maximum social surplus would be attained where we have this quantity to be produced, not lesser, right? So let's move ahead. The second condition to meet this allocative efficiency is the price should be equal to the marginal cost. Means the price charged from the consumers should be equal to the marginal cost of the producer. What is marginal? Every next unit's cost. So when this level is attained, it means he is not keeping extraordinary profits with him, and this prevails in the economy, and this condition primarily talks about the perfect competition also. Right. Then we say the resource allocation for goods and services as per consumer preferences. Means all the needs and the preferences of the consumers are met. Whatever they need in the society should be produced, and they should be produced in such a manner that demand is equal to supply. There should not be any wastage also, nothing extra, nothing surplus. Okay, nothing short. And the most important out of this is we have the fourth point, MSB. I'm introducing it for the first time now here. MSB should be equal to MSC. What is it? This is marginal social benefit should be equal to marginal social cost. Let me explain the same. We have a term MPC should be equal to MPB. It is marginal private cost should be equal to marginal private benefit. What is the private cost? Means the cost of production which a consumer has to bear. Right. So what does he bear? He bears the cost of all the factor inputs like land, labor, capital, all these returns or the wages, the interest, the salary, the profits. So all these costs unite together to make the cost for him. And that is his private cost, means what he is bearing out of his production activity, right? Then the marginal private benefit means the utility attained by the consumers, means are they satisfied by using that. Right. So this talks about the demand from the consumer side. So this is from the consumer side. This is from the producer side. So what they are producing, the private cost and private benefit means the one who is buying and the one who is selling, they are satisfied. So that's why we say private. But when we say social cost and social benefit, what does that mean? It simply talks about the externalities, and we have used this term previously also, externalities. What is externality? The impact on the third party without being engaged in that production or the economic activity. Third parties are who? They are the society, the common people, the environment, the producers. No, the other producers, are resources. So these are the third party who are not actually there for the production or the consumption, but they have it passively. For example, if a person is smoking, so he is smoking, so he is whatever gains or losses he is bearing, these are his personal private benefits and losses, right? But if because of that smoke, the other person who is just standing next to him is getting hurt or having some breathing trouble, so that is a social cost. To understand this, let me give you the equation. Marginal social benefit is equal to marginal private benefit plus external benefit, and marginal social cost is equal to marginal private cost plus external cost. Right. So when we're talking about external cost, we are talking about the negative externalities. When we are talking about external benefit, we are talking about the positive externalities. So when we do not have any externalities, it means the private benefit and the social benefit become equal. Try and understand. Marginal social benefit and social cost is a comprehensive term over and above the private, which takes into consideration not only the person involved, but along with that, the external environment as well. Right. So if marginal social benefit and social costs are equal, then the allocative efficiency is to its best, and that is called social optimum allocation. When it is an understanding between the buyer and seller, right? It's private optimum allocation. But when we do take into consideration the society, the external environment as a whole, so it is social optimum allocation. Now let's understand this diagram once again with a bit addition. So far we had been writing this downward sloping curve as D, but we have also written MPB and MSB because demand curve talks about the perspective of the consumer. Hence we call it marginal benefit curve. So where the benefits accruing to him personally and to the society as a whole are equal. There is no external benefit. It means this curve represents all the three together. And when we talk about this supply curve, we all know that rising curve of the MC means marginal cost curve is nothing but supply curve. So MC or private costs to him which he bears are equal to the social cost, means there is no external cost added in his productive activity. Then at this level, there is maximum social optimum allocation. So allocative efficiency is the best here. Here we do not have any welfare loss happening in the society. So welfare loss is not there when these conditions are met. Right. And what is the precondition? Again, we assume that this happens when many buyers and sellers are there, right? It means no individual buyer or seller is able to influence the market, right? They are just a meager portion of the whole market. Then there is no barrier to enter or exit. It means the market is not controlled by some particular firm or group of firms, or there is no power to control the prices by anyone. Right. Maximum profits for the seller. And in this case, maximum profits means it's not that monopoly profits, means we have already talked about that in perfect market situation, the price is the least which is charged from consumers, so they are benefited, and the quantity is the max which is produced in the market. So because of high quantity, high trade, the sellers are benefited. Right. So there is maximum benefit, maximum producer as well as consumer surplus in such situation. So maximum profits go to sellers and maximum benefits go to buyers. They are able to maximize their utility. And there is perfect information. There is no information failure. There is no information asymmetry in this situation. So any such market allocation which fulfills all these conditions, right, of MSB is equal to MSC, demand is equal to supply, price is equal to MC, and maximum social surplus. So such a state or such a situation is called allocative efficiency and social optimum output. I hope the things are clear to you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.